Today we're going to play with ink. We're going to play with ink to make these watercolor flowers from this really great die called Large Stems. We did cut them out of watercolor paper because they seem to absorb the ink a little better. 2 different shades of green, 2 different shades of pink, and a yellow and orange, and then a black. We're going to start out with the greens, one that's maybe a little lighter, one that's a little darker. Peeled paint is one of my favorites, along with forest moss. Start out with the lighter one. The best way to do it is to press down and twist. This is the peeled paint. We're going to mist it. You don't want to over mist it, but you want to dilute it a little bit. And we're going to start out by just folding that back, and we're going to just pat it like that. And you get some really neat texture by doing it that way. You don't want to drag it through, especially if you're using 2 colors at the same time. We're going to do it here with this one. And you don't have to hit every single spot. We're going to go with a little forest moss. I'm not going to overdo it, but I'm going to add just a little bit here and there. If you have a spot that you just can't get to, just go like that. We're going to dry that very quickly. Don't worry about if you have a little bit of white showing, because we can go back and add a little ink. If you have a little stubborn spot that won't dry because you got too much ink, just kind of blot it. Let's make one flower pink, a lighter one and a darker one. These 2 really complement each other. So we'll start out with the lighter, water down a little bit. So we're gonna like that. See how I just keep checking until I get the look I want? And those pools look really pretty. I'm going to dry it a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to use some aged mahogany. Get that where we want it to go. There. Isn't that gorgeous? Mustard seed and spiced marmalade. So we'll start out with the lightest one. Now you can do the same thing with oxide inks. You're going to get a little different look. It might be just a little more opaque. Spiced marmalade. And if you want less color, then you put more water. If you want it a little more vibrant, you add less water. And sometimes I'll just hold it like that and let it run. And you're never going to get any 2 alike. So see how those are very watercolory. And to kind of camouflage a little bit of that white watercolor edge, I'm just going to take a little vintage photo. You can use any color brown that you like. And I'm just going to go around the edges. I don't want to make the flower brown. I just want to get rid of those white areas. We've taken a piece of dictionary page and die cut it with kind of a deckled edge. We put gesso on it, stamped it with our brand greetings from Amanda, and that is Dawn's daughter, and you can only get it at Memory Bound. Here's one of those. Happy anniversary. I'm going to add that flower right on there. I'm going to have this one hanging over the edge just a little bit. And look at that gorgeous card. Wouldn't you be proud to send that one out to someone? Did you notice my name tag? This beautiful butterfly? I used the new Tim Holtz die. It's called Tattered Butterfly. Cut it out of watercolor paper, so it looks just like this. I'm going to use all of these colors and a little bit of green. This has a little body, and we will save that because we'll do that black. And I'll show you how you can just layer. So again, we'll put that on the splat mat. I don't want the entire butterfly yellow, so I'm just going to tap it. If you don't want your colors to run too much or get kind of muddy, you can dry those in between a little bit. Move on to our pink. This is going to be one colorful butterfly. That. Let's move on to some orange. Look at how that blended. We'll do a little peeled paint. Kind of notice where my white spots are, so let's tap that and look at that. We can take a little bit of brown ink. All I have to do is do the body. To use a little bit of black. Dry it. You can just glue that in place. And then what I would do is just turn up those wings a little bit. It's beautiful. You could even put it on your card if you wanted to. Not only do we have this die set, we also have smaller sets that are made by Sizzix with all of these pieces, and these would all work well. This is the Grow kit. We actually had a class in this, and we do have a couple kits left over. These flowers were dipped in oxides. So we used the oxides for that one. So you can kind of see it's a little different look. Does it look familiar? This is another kit that we have that we used the butterfly on. This little project, same technique, different flower die, but those were done the exact same way. And you're never going to have two alike. These were oxide inks that we used. If you like getting your fingers inky like this, and like to have fun with ink, stop by and pick up some watercolor paper, some dyes, and lots of inks, and have fun. Thanks for watching.